Bandai Namco's Southeast Asian YouTube account had a playlist link titled Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3, and they quickly remove it. But y'all know fans were going to be all on it. They saw the buzz and saw, okay, that's clearly what this is. This is Xenoverse 3. So Xenoverse 3, basically, I'll be honest, I haven't played the Xenoverse games like that. I did play the first Xenoverse game when it came out in, 2015, and I loved it. I thought it was a breath of fresh air, really, because I've played the PS1 Dragon Ball games, particularly Final Bout, Dragon Ball GT, Final Bout, and Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Battle 22. I played those games, and of course I played the Budokais, Super DBZ, Sagas, the Tenkaichi games, Infinite World, and I played the PS3 games, Raging Blast 1 and Burst Limit, like those games, especially Burst Limit. But yeah, around that time I was in art college, and I started falling off of these games, and I never really got in. I didn't play Raging Blast 2 outside of a demo, and Ultimate Battle 22 I did play, but I was done with it after the story mode. Battle with Z I didn't play, so it's like, yeah, that PS3/360 era of video games for Dragon Ball, man, it was not it. There was a lot of fatigue when it came to those games. But when the PS4 era started up, we got Xenoverse. I'm like, oh, this is cool. And I knew a little bit about Xenoverse. I'm like, it looks like it's based off of Dragon Ball Online and a lot of those special card arcade games that were going on in Japan. So I'm like, oh snap, is this their way of bringing it to the worldwide audience? I was like, oh, this is fire. So I'm like, let's go with this one and everything. But yeah, one of the things that I absolutely really did enjoy when it came to Xenoverse was just the originality. It did follow the OG Dragon Ball Z story, but there was enough there with it, I think, in terms of like incorporating things from Dragon Ball Online that I thought really made the game stand out. And so I really loved that part of it and everything. Other things that I really did like about Xenoverse 2 the following years, it kind of loosely followed like I like Mira and Toya. That was really awesome, and I played the story mode, but I never got really into playing all the content. But I see the game has gone on for quite a long time, and with Xenoverse 2 I was still working on my short film Battle Deception at the time, and because of that I was very busy as a content creator, and so I never really committed to playing games. So for the decade that was going on, this game had a lot of downloadable content, but a lot of people really liked it, and so I thought that was awesome. And so it looks like I know Xenoverse 3 has been something that has been wanted for a while. So even if I don't play it, I'm very happy for all of you out there who are Xenoverse fans. I'm super glad. I'm super stoked for you. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3, I know it's been a long time coming, and it's going to be really awesome. One thing that I was going to also say about Xenoverse 3 when it comes here is that yeah, Dragon Ball Online. So it was first released in South Korea on February 4th, 2010. So the game is an MMORPG set 216 years after the original manga, and it basically was released only in like Asian countries, Hong Kong, Taiwan, South Korea. So yeah, that was one of the things. Now, one of the things we do know is that Akira Toriyama, he completely supervised basically Dragon Ball Online 216 years after where Dragon Ball ended. And I think that might be because I was listening to Kaiser Neko and Lenny Pator of Team 4-Star. I was listening to their live stream several weeks ago, and they were talking about or Kaiser Neko was talking about how this might be Toriyama's attempt to get Dragon Ball Online to take off worldwide. Yanyo says in the chat, Xenoverse 2 has so much content that I lose count. Man, I can imagine. Yeah, they're constantly still releasing content for that, so that is absolutely something for sure. But yeah, Xenoverse, the thing about it with Xenoverse 3, when it comes to that game here, one moment, I am losing track of there we go. Okay, I am back up and running here. Yeah, one of the things about that game overall was with Dragon Ball Online. I did not play it. Obviously I couldn't since I was in America, and I mean I guess people could download it, and there's some people that had their own servers, but the servers stopped for it. There was a lot of cool things, like I think I heard that was where Goku and Vegeta had basically Goku and Vegeta, they had basically what did they do? Goku and Vegeta, they had like fought until like they were 100 years old, and that's like the ending of it. I know Majin Buu basically Majin Buu basically what was it, repopulated himself with multiple Majins and stuff. We get to see there's a new breed of Namekians or Namexians, where they kind of have like the light green skin around their mouths and stuff. So a lot of stuff that's already in Dragon Ball Xenoverse. You have, like I said, Mira and Toya are in the game. I love their designs and stuff. So in hearing like Trunks become like the time patroller and everything, so it's just so much cool stuff that we're going to get to see. And that was one of my complaints about Dragon Ball Super, is how I was saying that Dragon Ball Super so many times, it really, when you think about it, Dragon Ball Super, because it's in that 10-year time skip, it's like we don't get to see what we all know how it's gonna all end for these characters. I wanted to see things where in Dragon Ball, what happens after the end of Z, what happens at the end of the manga. And so it's like before Toriyama left this world, he ended up basically putting that in there with the 216 year time skip, and a lot of that is put in here. And one of the reasons why I'm so stoked for this too is because when Toriyama passed away, we didn't hear much information about him as far as like what did he leave behind, any notes. And we find out that Toriyama was heavily involved before he passed away with this. And much respect, like I said in that trailer, much respect to Akira Toriyama for, you know, he was essentially in his dying days still putting out so much work, which I know he did say in an interview he wasn't confident in his health, that he had much time left, but he was going to try for as long as he could to continue delivering as much cool stuff as he could for Dragon Ball fans worldwide. And seeing that he was passionately working into this was really good. And what I like about Age 1000 is I feel like this sets up for things if Toyotaro goes past the end of Z, which it looks like the manga was heading towards. There's a lot of elements that can be used from this game to be taking Dragon Ball beyond the future and everything. This is deep in the future. Like we asked, like I just want to see what happened after Goku and Oob left the 27th Tenkaichi Budokai, but I'm like, okay, Toriyama's taking us way into the future. So I really am looking forward to this. And now that I am playing Dragon Ball games as part of my content strategy for live streams, maybe I will pick up Xenoverse 3 and play that. I'm very curious in terms of seeing where the story is going and stuff like that. So definitely I'm looking forward to that. Overall, yeah, like I said, I think this is going to be Xenoverse 3. We'll probably find out more when they announce the stuff at Battle Hour. But yeah, I'm very intrigued to see where this goes story-wise, how it's all implemented. And none of that. One of the things that I've always said about Akira Toriyama, you know, you can say what you want to about his writing. You know, sometimes, you know, obviously, yeah, like as I mentioned in my tribute video to me, it wasn't the best writer. He kind of, you know, he wrote the story off the top of his head. He was the discovery writer, and so there would be contradictions and plot holes and stuff. But one thing is for sure, Toriyama was so dang creative, and that creativeness, I think, mixed in with his more simplified storytelling is what really allowed it to really resonate with people all over the world. Because like I said, he did a lot of studying of different cultures and religions and stuff, and put it all into one series that could identify, I think, with anyone all over the world. And his world building, like I said, the character designs, the worlds that he would build, it's one of the reasons why I thought it was such a pleasure to watch Dragon Ball Daima, just seeing the creativity side of Toriyama. Man, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see what more gets announced about Age 1000. At this point, like I said, I think it's going to be Xenoverse 3, and I'm happy for all you Xenoverse fans out there. I'm super happy for you, so definitely there's going to be more to come there. Alrighty, and so now we get to the big one and everything that a lot of people were really definitely probably looking forward to on this one. Perhaps the biggest announcement, the biggest thing to come out of this whole Dragon Ball announcement ordeal, and